So, welcome back to the channel. My name is Taylor. This is where rubber meets dirt. And today, we are going to start on a little adventure that I mapped out on a route that is not always talked about here in Oregon. That is the Pacific Crest Overland Trail. Now, some of you may know of the hiking trail. It goes from Mexico to Canada. Obviously, hiking, no motorized vehicles allowed. I did not know that there was a Pacific Crest Overland Route until scrolling through YouTube. I saw Revere Overland. He did a Pacific Crest Trail movie. It follows the hiking route, generally speaking, pretty close. However, making a little bit of mods to where I'm going. Gonna follow it. I feel like we're more close than the official route. Dang, those glasses really do glare on the camera. Anyway, just left Hood River. We are heading towards the hills in the Land Rover LR3. I know I haven't been posting a lot lately. I have a career that's very demanding. My daughter just turned 1, so getting out, filming, does not happen as much as I would like to. But now, I've got a couple days. We're gonna hit this route, see what we find. So let's go. I will say, the beginning of this route, the views are just epic. Okay, I just made it out of the Hood River Dalles area. I have not shown you guys the Land Rover in a little bit. This is the true first kind of shakedown, this LR3, after my initial snow adventure. I took it to Browns Camp, Potomac, Oregon, tried to test its limits. However, that video did not pan out. The camera I was using was garbage. Video quality was not up to par. Sound quality sounded like it was underwater. So unfortunately, that video didn't work out. However, that just means I have to go back. So here we are. This is my 2005 LR3. You guys have seen the snorkel, so funny story is, after that initial run on Cedar Tree, that decided to rip partially off going 70 down the freeway. So I had to reattach it. Quote, Safari roof rack, budget find on Marketplace. Not exactly what the guy was advertising when he posted it. However, it seems to work. Not sure about the fairing up front. Also, as you can see, it's not proportionally positioned because of my Wii-Boost antenna. This was the first chance I've been able to get out in a long time. I was in a hurry, rushed, barely had any time. So, yeah, I didn't really get to install that properly. So maybe, if the weather holds, I'll find camp and spend a little bit of time, morning or evening, to try and make it right. Shameless little plug. So here we go on the inside. It is a disaster. Didn't have mounting brackets. Here's the sleeping bag on a platform. Food's kind of all over the place. Random stuff. I'll do a better little walk around once I get to camp and get it all set up. Cooking stuff is in here. Like I said, this is kind of the first real camping trip in this rig, so bear with me. Here's my fridge. Not a name brand. Got some various beverages. It's just me. The Land Rover, as mentioned before, has a 2-inch coil strut conversion from the bags. We got the ditch light pods. This is very budget friendly. I only picked up this thing for $3,000 maybe, and I've tried to be very budget minded on what I have put into it. So let's actually get moving on the trail. So a couple things. One, those fuel cans are empty. I'm a little bit smarter than that to be sitting in the cab of a vehicle with full gas cans. So there's one. Two, this road starts off really narrow. I didn't film any of it. We are now onto the gravel portion. However, there are some active logging operations going on up here. So please drive responsibly, take precautions, take your time going up the initial 1-lane pavement segment. As you can see, you got my mapped out route with the official Pacific Crest Overland Route. Man, all this walking back and forth between camera shots is making me kind of hungry. And it's almost lunchtime. One thing I would like to mention, some signs you may come across. So please, stay on designated routes. Don't destroy vegetation, especially this time of year, driving on some taller grass. So, yeah, this is like the, I don't know, 5th down tree I've come across in the last 4 miles maybe. So whoever cleared the way before me getting here, thank you. All right, trail's getting a little tight. This is a perfect example as to why I want to keep this thing as close to the original size as possible. I know those tree branches are still higher than the roof of the Land Rover, but when the trail starts to narrow, I want to be as skinny as possible to be able to maneuver around, not tag a bunch of tree branches with a rooftop tent, side storage, if at all possible. So yeah, this has been a pretty good trail so far. Pretty happy with the mapping. Honestly, a car can do this. It's not challenging. It's a overland trail. But yeah, pretty fun so far. Just about there. Judging by the tire tracks on the road, it looks like there have been people out here. Not sure if there currently are people out here. That might be a fun little trail. However, we are going to take a right because that's what the GPS track is telling me to do. There are all kinds of little side quest trails, camping spots. I guess just pick one and go for it. So that looks like another one right there. We're gonna head down and see what we can find. All right, first impression. I guess I didn't really know what to expect. We are at Clear Lake. The shoreline is covered with cut down stumps. There is a road that follows the lake, which we are currently driving on. And if you look, there's all kinds of little campsites here. Driving down in here, I did see a couple trailers, which I was amazed by. I mean, I certainly wouldn't bring my camp trailer down here. Well, here we are. At least lunch break. All right, well, I think I've decided to not stay, but I want to kind of show you guys around. Not a secret place by any means. I don't think that I'm giving away any hidden gems. This is all public information on where to find this place. It's pretty rad though. This was a nicer day. Definitely come down and go swimming. Got a boat ramp across the lake here. This was a good spot. I think I want to keep going, however. Saw a bunch of daylight left. Not a lot to be doing. Don't want my fridge to cool off more than it has to. Can't find the 12-volt charger to my fridge. Actually, cannot find the 12-volt charger for my battery bank. So that's great. So I guess once my video editing app downloads, we can hit the trail again. I'd like to point out that lead boost there. Pretty impressive. Underneath right where we're parked, I only had one bar of LTE. Plug that guy in, and underneath of all these trees, I was able to watch the two newest Matt's Off-Road Recovery vehicle videos on YouTube. So, well worth the money. So let's just continue on down the road. I don't mind driving. Now, as you can see, I need some mounts up there. I have mounts, didn't come with hardware, so it's not really ideal. In this front, I think if I was to scoot it back, it might rest on the arch here. Not really flopping around and getting all crazy like. That was probably in intention, but nonetheless, here we are. Rocking some high-tech setup for now. Let's check to see if this app is downloaded yet. Almost. I've decided to move on. Back on the trail. Let's go see if we can find some trails to play on for a little while. Well, here we go, back on the main route. Still got plenty of daylight, a lot of miles to cover still. So why don't we just start the segment 2 I mapped out. On the little spur road. Let's go see what kind of trouble we can get into. Sure where this goes or leads. It's not a bad little spot though. Tell you what, I haven't been on a segment today where even a car with street tires couldn't get through. The debate on whether you should spend $100,000 on a rig to go off-road it or stick to what you have in the driveway and take that. Now to me, that's not much of a debate between spending 100 grand on an off-road truck or taking what you have already. But I believe it's somewhere not in that ballpark either. Should you off-road your daily? I would say just asking for trouble, something were to happen and you're out of a vehicle. Do I recommend spending $100,000 to go thrash on something? No. I would say most of us do not have that kind of money to just waste. However, you could find an entirely capable vehicle for, let's say 5 grand. Capable, reliable for the most part. You have to be willing to turn a wrench. You have to be willing to, suffer through some of the lack of pleasantries, This LR3, sure, it's got Bluetooth for phone calls. It's got an aux port for music. But sometimes the amp doesn't always work. And so sound doesn't always come through the speakers. So, I've had to replace the drain plugs because this thing was leaking water. Floors were soaked, and that probably has a lot to do with the amp going on the fritz. But again, today I haven't gone on a single trail where I couldn't take a Honda Civic, or I saw a Prius today that went down some of the roads that led down into Frog Lake. So you have to be able to justify spending the money. You have to be able to not spending the money needlessly. I would say for most people your standard all-wheel drive will be just fine. Granted, this is what the LR3 is, but it has a low range transfer case, so it's not your typical all-wheel drive. Now, I'm not entirely sure where I'm going. Let's just quit getting jittery here. The route there in the blue was blocked by a fallen tree. This is still a path, no idea where it leads. So let's just continue getting war paint on the sides and find out where it goes. Found out where it goes. It does dead end. That's right, this is what we wanted to do. Come out here, drive around. Well, somebody was following me. Not a big deal, he was trying to find his way out too. Nice enough guy. Both trying to get back to the main road. Both using Onyx. Fallen tree. Killed both of our journeys. I will say, he was in a late 80s Toyota, and he's moving. It's gotta be one heck of a bumpy ride. Yep, I'm not even trying to catch up with him at this point. But again, perfect example. Yeah, it's a late 80s Toyota, and Toyotas hold their value. He looked like it was just torsion bar, add a leaf, 33s. That is plenty for most everything that most people are gonna do. He had a little camper in the back. It wasn't even a brand new, wasn't even one of those brand new camper tops that you see out there. It looked very much old. This is definitely the way that we need to go though. To get back. Maybe not. Let's just go back the way we came. But if I could make some recommendations, you want something narrow, you want something nimble. You don't need all of the power in the world, although power is nice to have. I know Land Rovers get a bad rap. This is a V8, turns on a dime. This thing, 183,000 miles. 183,000 miles. And if you just maintain them, they hold up. This one had records. This one came with a bunch of service. This was all done before I bought it, so pretty happy so far. was a test of breakover angle. That guy's pretty steep. Had to give it a little bit of beans, but we made it. All right, I think I'm parked for the night. Came off that one trail, side quest, the tank trap at the end. We scraped our belly a little bit. Just gave it a little bit of gas. Was really testing the breakover angle there. Scraped the belly, but no big deal. We got over it. And after that, it was time to find campsite. So here we are. We are close to Timothy Lake, stone's throw away. Yeah, it's raining. Didn't have time to put an awning on the Rover. I was a little rushed, like I said before. Didn't have time, and it's raining. So we're gonna hang out inside, try to get these videos transferred over, and hopefully do a little bit of editing on the tablet. Once I get inside, I'll kind of show you the sleeping situation, how I plan on making that happen for the night. But yeah, a little bite to eat, a little cold beverage, and hanging out, trying to stay dry. So more to come.